Just want to try and communicate this idea I've been thinking for a while, kind of vaguely. It's about gratitude in a way. It's essentially, I'll try my best to articulate it, is living your life from a place as if you are in like extreme poverty, scarcity, or like on the fringes of like, you know, like how they live in Gaza at the minute. Like if you were in like some war territory of like where there was, or like, you know, like the charity adverts you see on TV where they're like completely deprived cultures, areas, land, family. I'll try and refine exactly why I'm telling you this or what I mean. It's like the way that gratitude works is you tend to take for granted what you get used to or are accustomed to. It's like you don't notice what doesn't change. That's why the background can just go to the background and you don't really notice it. You tend to only notice the foreground or what is changing. You take for granted that you're warm. You know how like you can get pissed off and like in a low vibration over like the stupidest things, kind of like if you're trying to sort some weed or something and then like at the last minute your guy messages you, he's like, oh sorry bruv, I can't sort any weed, and then you can get so caught up in that. This is what I mean by living from a place of scarcity, is to kind of put your gratitude in check. So it's like, because you can get caught up in these like petty details of life, but when survival really gets challenged and you are put into severe poverty or scarcity, that kind of puts your gratitude in check, where often you don't know what you have until it's gone. So what I mean by living from this place of scarcity, what I really mean is live from a place of gratitude, where like you actually notice everything that you do have. Like basically imagine, because the truth is, like if a war kicked off hypothetically, right, and you were in the midst of that war, say that this war and this scarcity poverty situation went on for 3 months, you would be like so entrenched in this like deep survival situation that everything would become very real, and you wouldn't be concerned with like, can my guy sort weed tonight, because you don't know where you're going to sleep, you potentially haven't eaten for a long time, you're very dehydrated, you don't have access to clean water, you know, you find it difficult enough how your life is now, and you have so many luxuries that we take for granted. It's not that it couldn't be better, but it's like, how bad can it get is what you should ask. Like, how bad can poverty get? You've seen the charity adverts, you know how it gets. So what I mean is, say for me, the reason why I'm saying this in a way is I went through a quite severe financial crisis recently, where I became very poor. So I'm quite young, so I haven't really had much experiences or clashes with the harsh reality of survival and how it can actually get. And sometimes you have to actually experience these depths to, like, you can't just hear it intellectually. You'll hear me saying this now and you can grasp it intellectually, but it's a different thing to actually go through it. So imagine, for whatever reason, that you, whether it was a war or it was your own fault, maybe you lost your job, but like a very pretty severe survival situation in terms of where like you have to radically sacrifice your diet, so your gratitude would really get put into check, because all of your luxuries that you take for granted would be gone, and you would be forced to be grateful for your breadcrumbs. When I was going through the midst of this scarcity, financial situation, it just so happened that a video appeared on the front page of my YouTube called Gratitude Revealed. It was quite synchronistic or coincidental, and it was talking about, like, gratitude. You know what you have when you have little of it, because when you have loads of food all the time, you can just take it for granted, like you just expect it, and you can become quite arrogant and complacent. But when you actually run out of food, where like you can't eat because you simply cannot afford to eat, that is when you become so deeply grateful for what you can eat. If you can actually rarely eat because you just can't afford it, when you do get a nutritious meal, you are so grateful. So what I'm talking about of living from this place, what do I mean? Is I'm actually grateful I went through this hard phase in my life, because Gratitude Revealed is that, like, basically I live from the memory of this scarcity. I'm still in it to an extent, but what I mean is to never really get complacent with your gratitude again, to never make reality, because if you can practice gratitude, reality maybe won't take things away from you to force you to recognize the gratitude that you're not practicing. It's like if you fail to recognize all the good in your life, life might just take it away from you for that very reason, so that when you get it back, if you're lucky enough to get it back, you'll actually recognize and be grateful for what you do have. So what I mean is, to tie the loose ends now, is to live from this place of gratitude or scarcity is to remember your darkest moments of scarcity, or if you can, maybe if you've never experienced that, maybe it's not necessary, but if you can imagine and embody like being in like a third world, like being in Gaza. What I mean is, when you really feel this on a deep level of like, right, I might not be super happy at the minute, like whatever might be bogging you down, but hey, remember 6 months ago when like I was basically fucking homeless? I wasn't, but imagine if you became homeless and you couldn't eat fuck all, and you got addicted, and you got humbled by the universe because you lost yourself to an addiction and you ended up homeless on the streets and you couldn't fucking eat. What I'm saying is that even when you get your luxuries back and your whatever, the power back and things, it's that you live from a place of remembering when you didn't have this. So when I eat now and that, like, basically it's about gratitude works via contrast in a way, where if you go into a severe survival situation like being homeless, if you can remember what it was like to be homeless, you will appreciate what you have in front of you. If you go to prison and you have your freedom stripped of you for years, when you get out of prison, if you can remember what it was like to be in prison, you can keep this gratitude in check yourself and stem from a place of gratitude and or scarcity to recognize what you should be grateful for. So that's it. That ties up the loose ends, really. That's all I'm trying to say is put your gratitude in check by reflecting on scarcity times in your past or the potential for scarcity in the future, and it's this survival attitude of, look, bask and be grateful for what you do have. It's warm right now. The air is not particularly polluted. I had a job as a bin man, and when I was a bin man, or I've had multiple jobs where my oxygen is polluted. I was working in a warehouse where I was breathing in like molten plastic because everyone in this warehouse was mounting plastic on every desk, and I was breathing in molten plastic, and I'd blow my nose in the toilet and there'd be black shit all coming out of my nose. So now I'm not in that warehouse. I was forced to be in that warehouse because of my financial situation. So what I'm saying is, Having my purity of oxygen quality taken away from me, although it seems like a burden on the surface, is a blessing in disguise in a way. Many things in life are blessings in disguise, as everything needs contrast. But what I'm saying is, having my oxygen quality taken away from me, it seems on the surface as a negative thing. However, now, when I breathe, and I'm not in that warehouse, I know directly on a level of being that I'm grateful deeply for not having to breathe in that plastic shit anymore, because I'm not in that environment. So be grateful for your hard times. So that's it. I've said all I need to say. Is just really contemplate and meditate on gratitude, is what I'm telling you. Do it a lot, because I heard about gratitude for a long time, but it really takes, because what I'm telling you likely will have, if you don't contemplate and meditate on gratitude and really feel it and discover it for yourself, life or God may just take away all that you take for granted just to reveal gratitude to you. If you don't reveal gratitude to yourself, reality may reveal gratitude for you, and it's not very comfortable, because it will not be in your will. You will get plunged into a scarcity survival situation against your will, unless you count your blessings now. So count your blessings and more blessings will come. If you don't, they'll get taken away. Because if you're not grateful for your blessings, if you don't recognize your blessings, why should you have them? You shouldn't. And that's why God and the universe will take it away from you. Not inherently, like I'm kind of talking in an abstract metaphor analogy way, but be grateful for what you got. Recognize the blessings. And if you can't be grateful, even though it feels like I didn't ask to incarnate, I just spawned on a whim, well, if you don't feel that, like, if you're struggling to feel grateful for what you do have, wait until it gets taken away. Then you'll be fucking grateful for what you don't have. So, if you're struggling to find gratitude for what you do got, tough shit. Fucking find it, because when it leaves, you will want it back.